Good morning, everyone. Let's see if we can work this a little bit. Our lighting is a little goofy again today because, there we go, because we have some crazy storms coming. So, lighting is a little goofy today, trying to get it figured out. Nothing like having overhead lighting right over top of you to make you see how tired you are, right? How is everyone doing today? Come on in, come on in. We are going to give just a second for everyone to come on in. As you're coming in, if you have a question about what I might do in my direct sales business that perhaps might be able to help you somewhere in yours, maybe you have a certain situation that you feel like you're just kind of struggling with. Maybe it is a certain, I don't know, a certain area of your business that you just feel like maybe you're wanting to revamp or you're wanting to do some different things with. So, whatever those things are, if you have a question for me today, go ahead and put a 1 in the comment box. That just allows me to know that there's a question that is going to be coming so that I know to keep my eyes peeled for that. Okay. And then also, as we have those coming through, I'm glad I had already blocked him. That's terrible. Anyway, let's get back to that. Okay, so if you have a question for me today, then go ahead and put a 1 in the box just so that I know there's a question that's going to be coming. Where do you find the Buffy Toolbox? Okay, so that is specifically for Premier Designs Jewelers, and it can be found on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and you simply type in Buffy's Toolbox Group, it'll come up in the search bar, and then you can request to join. Okay, and once I verified that you are in fact a jeweler, then I'll go ahead and get you added. Thank you for that, but that's not really what we're here for. Gotta love it sometimes, don't you? Okay, so again, today is for asking questions about my direct sales business. It might in turn help you in yours. So if you have a question, go ahead and put a 1 in the box so that I know there's a question coming, and I will be on the lookout for that. For anyone who might be in here joining us for the very first time, and maybe you have no idea who I am or why I'm here even offering this opportunity for you to ask me questions about my businesses. My name is Buffy Hood. I am a jeweler with Premier Designs Jewelry, and I've been with them for over 9 years. So being in the direct sales industry for that time period, needless to say, I've come across some different things, have had some different experiences perhaps than what some other people may have had. So I just come here as a way to be able to offer those experiences, be able to share what it is that I'm doing in my business. It seems to be working, or different situations that you might find yourself in that perhaps you just don't really know what to do with that situation. That I just offer my time here to be able to assist in some way, shape, or form, in hopes that perhaps I can help you in your direct sales business as well. So for anyone who might be here joining for the first time, if you have never introduced yourself to me before, please put a 1 in the box along with your first name and the business that you represent, just so that I have an idea as to who's here. Okay. Again, thank you for those of you who are joining us live. And I'm not sure if maybe we're waiting for people to get some questions ready. But again, for those of you who might have some questions about the who, what, where, when, how, why of what I do in my business and why I do things that way, then please feel free to go ahead and ask. I only suggest that you put a 1 in the box first so that I know that there is a question coming. So who out there has some questions? Maybe it is questioning how we get more shows on the books. Maybe it is questions about sharing the business opportunity, or maybe where to find new customers, or whatever your questions are. It doesn't matter. Good morning, Jenny from Iowa and Premier Designs. Yay! We got some Premier Designs peeps up in here, right? Love it. Thank you for introducing yourself. I so appreciate that. All right. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Or is today going to be like a really super short scope? Okay, we do have a question coming through. All right, we'll give just a second for that to come through. I thank you all for being here and thank you for those hearts already. I feel like I haven't really done much to deserve those hearts yet, but thank you for that. All right. Do we have anybody else new here? Sorry, I just realized that I don't know if I ever checked my phone to make sure that I had my volume turned down. Oops. All right. So let's give another second here. I'm going to get comfy while we're waiting. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? We do have one that we're waiting to come through. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you for those hearts. That's a long question. I kid. Just trying to keep myself occupied. Good morning to you, Tracy. Thank you for those hearts already. Y'all are fabulous. Make a girl feel loved, right? Having trouble, can't even get people to purchase through your half off special. Okay. All right. So tell me how you're going about offering that. That might be a place to start. First off, if the biggest place that you're posting things is through Facebook and you're not getting the results that you had hoped for, please know and understand that Facebook works off of algorithms. So what that means is if you post something, okay, and you feel like you're not getting a lot of interaction on it and you're not quite sure why and this and that, well, here's the thing. Every time that you post something, if you do not get, basically what Facebook will do, just as an example, I don't know that these are the actual numbers. I'm just using this as an example, okay? So what will happen, you make a post. Facebook will take that post and they'll show it on the news feeds of, say, 3 people. If out of those 3 people, if none of them like, comment, or share within a certain amount of time, Facebook basically throws that post out and says nobody wants to see this post, okay? If those 3 people, if any of those 3 people would like, comment, or share, then they'll show it to another couple of people, and they'll show it to another couple of people. So please understand that even if you have 2,000 people on your friend list, 2,000 people are not seeing that post. You may be having somewhere between 5 and 200 people seeing it, but that's only going to be, you're only going to get to 200 or whatever if people are interacting with that post. So the biggest thing is if you are at least, and here's the thing, if those 3 people that you put, that Facebook puts that post out into their newsfeed, if they do not like, share, or comment, not only does Facebook kind of toss that out, but they will not show your next 5 to 10 posts on those people's walls or newsfeed, rather. Okay. So please understand that if Facebook is the primary place where you're sharing that, and I'm not sure where you're sharing and trying to get people to take advantage of that, but if that is the primary place that you're showing that, you're going to want to reach out to people through private message or through emails or things like that. Yes, it is. So that's one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you are occasionally sharing things such as things that ask a question, that actually have kind of like a call to action within that post. Because if you're not doing things to ask a question, so sometimes it might even be silly things such as, what's your favorite candy? We're coming up on Halloween. Tell me what your favorite candy is. And, that will cause interaction, which means the next time that you post something, your post will show up on the news feeds of more people. Okay. So it's kind of Facebook's way of trying to make sure that the posts that they're putting out on people's news feeds, they want to make sure that it is relevant information. They want to make sure that people actually want to see from that person. Okay. So again, I mean, even with Okay, so just as an example, let me see if I can show you. I don't know if it'll show me on my phone. Okay, so as an example, on my Jewelry Lady page, okay, my Buffy the Jewelry Lady hood page, I have 1,359 people who have liked my page. Now, of those 1,359, the last post that I put on, okay, which was just a fashion board, basically, okay, there were 3 shares, but even with that, still only 396 people saw that, okay. Another one that I did, there was 2 shares and only 334 people saw it. All right. But here's the thing. What they don't tell you is that most people don't know this unless they have a business like page that they can see how many people have liked their post. You can't see that on your regular Facebook, okay? You can't see that on there. The only places that you can see it is in your groups or on a business like page. So yeah, so that's, again, yes, it goes back to us keeping it personal. Make sure you're reaching out to them. Have been taking your books and business cards and putting them in restaurants and things and salons. Awesome. That is a great thing to do. And I tell you, even some of the places that you wouldn't necessarily think to go put catalogs in, let me tell you something. Dealerships or things like that, like repair garages and that sort of thing, if they have a waiting area where people have to sit and wait, trust me, go in there and ask if you can put them in there. How many group OPs do you do per month when you're not in a challenge? That is a great question. I would say we usually try to offer every Monday evening is what we usually try to offer, simply because we are usually meeting most people on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at our shows. So we usually try to offer Monday evenings. And then that way, anybody that we might have met that weekend who might be interested, we can tell them that they're welcome to come by and join us for a meeting on Monday evening. That's just a informational meeting, no pressure, no obligation, that kind of thing. Now, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, because again, some of our customers were an hour and a half to 3 hours away from them. So when they express an interest for them, most times it winds up being that we have to chat via phone or things like that instead. But it's still great to be able to have those things already scheduled, already, just planned out, so you don't have to try and fumble through your calendar and go, well, when could I squeeze one in, if you just have a set time every single month. But I do recommend that if you're doing shows every week, then you want to be having a group opportunity scheduled every week as well. That way you have something to invite them to. Okay. She was not, when she was doing her show, she was a hostess. She has not signed up for the business. That was just her first show as a hostess, because she had just turned 18 in July. So she was, yeah. So that was just her very first jewelry show, as in her being a hostess. So yeah. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Do we have any other questions? And yeah, real quick too, while we're waiting to see if there's any more questions, to go back to what I was referring to in terms of, asking if you can put your catalogs in those certain areas. You would be amazed how many times it is women who are taking the cars to the dealership to be able to have the oil changed or be, do whatever. And I tell you what, you go into a lot of those places, and the majority of the magazines that they have sitting out are all like Motorhead magazines. Like, it's like all guy stuff, and women are sitting in there like twiddling their thumbs because they have nothing to look at that is appealing to them many times. So that's something that you could always go in and simply ask them. I have catalogs that I'm looking to place in local businesses where there is a basically wherever there are women clientele that ever might be there, and you're willing to offer those. Here's the key: you're willing to offer those catalogs to them to place in their waiting area for free. Okay, because here's the thing: most of these places, they have to carry magazine subscriptions to be able to continually have new magazines in their waiting areas. So when you tell them, well, I will gladly put some of my catalogs in your waiting area for free if that's something that you would, that you would allow me to do. I'd be happy to do that for you. And most times they're going to be like, well, yeah, sure. We can always use a few new magazines, just to give people something different to look at. So whether it's doctor offices, whether it's dentists, whether it's lawyers, whatever, any place that has a waiting area, hair salons, whatever, it's a great idea to put some items in there. Now, and I also suggest that as each year comes around and we start to, anytime that you're changing out catalogs, you can just put a little label on there that basically says, I was trying to think if I had one sitting over here. It says something along the lines of, this one's old, but here's what to do. Give me a call and I'll show you what's new, or something along those lines. So you can use your, previous catalogs that still have current items in them, but just that we've changed seasons and some of those items might not be available anymore, that kind of thing. But it gives them at least an idea as to what it is that we offer. And it gets all those older catalogs out of your home, which aren't doing you any good right now. Like, you've already spent the money for them. You can't use them at shows. You can use them to create gift bags, or you can also use them to be able to put them out in different, offices and waiting areas and that kind of thing. So, yeah. All right. How about anything else? We got any other questions? Any other questions? We got about 10 minutes. Went to a community like apartments where they have a clubhouse and they live. Yes. And listen, you can also go to apartment complexes and things like that perhaps offer like a welcome packet, and ask them, like many times they will offer a welcome packet to new tenants. And it's kind of like a little folder or a packet, an envelope of some sort that basically shares some of the different local businesses that they might find helpful as they're getting to know the area. So you could even ask if that's something that they offer. And if they do, would they allow you to place a style guide and a coupon in your business card, all stapled together inside their new welcome packets? And then that just lets them know that there's a jewelry lady in the area that would be able to assist them. So, yes. And another place that you can go to in terms of community, even check in with some of your local 55 and older areas. Many times they have clubhouses that they offer different residential activities. Offer to go in there and do a fashion show. Offer to go in there and do a style session, because they're always looking for activities to provide for their residents. So again, that can just be a great way to at least get your name out there, even if it's not going to be much in terms of sales because of fixed incomes and that sort of thing. A lot of these people do still have some money. So it's not to say that you won't receive any type orders, whatever, but it can still be a great way for you to get your name out there, for people to start to know who you are and that kind of thing and what you have to offer. So worst case scenario, maybe they can be a referral center for you, and that can always help as well. Yes, thank you for the hearts. All right, do we have any other questions? We still got about 5 or 6 minutes. Any other questions? I'm thinking we might be all done and out of questions. Are we out of questions for the day? Thank you for those hearts. Okay. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, again, if you do have a question before I split out of here, if you do have a question, just put a 1 in the box so that I know that there's a question coming so I don't cut you off and take off of here before y'all are ready. But otherwise, then we will just look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Fashion and Faith Friday, so we'll be sharing some fashion and or jewelry tips for tomorrow, as well as having a little bit of conversation about some faith and taking some prayer requests, praise reports, all that kind of good stuff. So if we don't have anything else for today, I'm going to let y'all go. All right, I'm going to count to 3. If I don't see any ones come up in the count of 3, we're going to go. I know, it did go fast. It went too fast. This whole year has gone too fast. Like, it's ridiculous. Crazy ridiculous. Thank you, Tracy. Okay. All right, so count of 3. If I don't see any ones, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so very much for being here today. Thank you for all the questions that were asked, for all the interaction, for the hearts, for the love, all that kind of good stuff. So appreciate you guys being here. Take care, Jenny. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for our Fashion and Faith Friday. You guys have a blessed day, and we'll chat soon. Thanks. See if it'll let me say goodbye. Bye.